Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In my last video, I talked about sharing my option strategy for 2022, my investment strategy for 2022, and how I'm going to deploy capital for 2022. But before going into all this, I thought that I should reflect back on my investment journey for 2021. The purpose is to gain some credibility so that you guys know what I'm sharing going forward is going to be legit. I will share with you transparently on my portfolio gains for the year. I will talk about what I did right for 2021 and at the same time share all my mistakes for 2021 so that we can all become a better investor together. In 2021, I'm 26 years old, I funded my account with $174,000 and this is the portfolio I am managing. My portfolio fluctuates quite wildly, but this is a screen recording I took yesterday before the market opens. My portfolio is worth $330,000. My shares are mostly in Tesla and Palantir. Now let's look at my account analysis. At my portfolio's peak, I'm up 76.58% year to date, whereas Nasdaq is 22.85%, S&P is 27%. I was able to beat the market by 3 times and made $153,000 in 2021 from the stock market alone, while YouTube paid me $0 for the whole year of work. So please help me out by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. I think my returns would be even higher than 76% if I did not withdraw my money for expenses. So I actually made more than $153,000 if you factor in these withdrawal numbers. I reference across multiple local YouTube channels, overseas YouTube channels as well. There isn't many people outperforming the S&P 500 and let alone having 76% returns. At most they are at 40 to 50% returns on a year like 2021. So I think I did fine, but I think I may lose to some crypto bros. Let's go through what I think was the reason for the 76% performance. The good stuff that contributed so that I could beat the market. First reason, I think it's learning from very successful people. I did not try to reinvent and be stubborn and try to do all sorts of things. I just look at who is the most successful investor who was able to 10x their returns in 2020, while the rest was only able to hit a maximum of 2 to 3x. I simply copied and replicate the framework first. Once I master everything, I use first principles thinking and see if I can do things better than before, and I reinvent things with my own twist. The key here is not to be stuck with my previous worldview and the willingness to be open-minded to adopt other people's worldview and see if other people is correct. Being invested in the market for a few years now, many will know that they are just expecting a return of 5 to 15% and 20% at best on the best year. It is hard to believe that a company can grow 50% on revenue every year and that will translate to profit and eventually to the stock price. If I limit myself to my old worldview, I will still think that Tesla is a fraud and nothing people say can change this. The change in my own worldview has to start from within. Second reason, I learned options. I came across this video more than a year ago. I watched this video repeatedly to the point of obsession. I would just walk around my house thinking about the ins and outs of what Chicken Genius was saying, the mechanics behind options. It is absurd that when I sacrifice time, I can put myself in favorable position. When I sell put option, I either get the profits or I get to use the profits to lower my purchase price of a stock. Learning about options opens up all sorts of possibilities that I can benefit from the market. No matter if it's a sideways market, a bear market, a bull market. If you want to learn more about options, I've made an entire playlist on options to give back to the community. It is my way of paying forward. I'll link it up here and down below. Next, I learned about debt and how to use debt effectively. I will make a whole video on this topic in my next few videos, so stay tuned. Using debt effectively have helped me to magnify my gains. But debt is a double-edged sword. So it is important not to mess with debt without knowing what you are doing. I leverage up when market is down and filled with fear, but I do not leverage much. I will calculate my holding power beforehand, prepare for various scenarios that will happen so that I can execute accordingly with no emotions. The last thing I did right was to concentrate my position to my highest conviction company. It really takes courage to do that. It is much simpler and easier to invest like a slut and buy everything I think is good. Knowing a bit of everything and just buying them without calculating their execution risk, project their future revenue, the ins and outs of a business. I can give you an example of how I would like to diversify my portfolio. I would like to own Tesla, AMD, Nvidia, Coinbase, Ethereum, Luna, AVAX, Roblox. Throw some ARKG inside because Katie would say this will 50x. But I did not do so. I just focused on studying Tesla for more than 800 hours. 800 hours of quality research. I can tell you Tesla is a fixed cost business. It has multiple vertical integration, multiple potential recurring revenue. Every car they produce is 9 times more profitable than companies in the same amount of time without 4680 battery. You can throw me any question on Tesla and I think I can answer them all. And true enough, Tesla is the best performing stock in S&P 500 year to date, and I have more than 90% of my portfolio in Tesla. I think this is the power of conviction, and when you have that level of conviction, you realize that the other investments are not that attractive anymore. And those that has the potential to rival Tesla's long-term gains, like for example, Ethereum and Luna, they carry more risk in my opinion because of Tether. Because you can't peg a value on cryptocurrency, it is sentiment driven. Cryptocurrency requires a different model, different framework to value their projects. So this will be a topic for another day. Now let's talk about some mistakes I have made. And if I didn't make them, my portfolio would have doubled. I actually did not time the market correctly. I did not manage to buy Tesla at the bottom. A friend of mine keeps making a lot of noise on Tesla. It becomes an echo chamber and biasness was formed. Even though I was the more experienced investor and I already saw market weakness in Tesla, I was still affected. I wanted to cash out keenly and go all in on Tesla at $500 to $600, but my greed and impatience ended up getting the better of me. And I started my position on Tesla from $800 and dollar cost average down to $500. This experience taught me that I should just block out all the noise and be in control of my own emotions. I can only reference people who are more successful than me and just keep a distance from the rest. Second mistake, I did not know what I was doing at the start and I got even greedier by using too much debt to sell put option. The market always humbles people. When you think you are good, it will shit on you. My paper loss was huge and at its peak, I got a 38% paper loss from a 6-figure portfolio. And I myself am the reason for this nonsense. I wasn't patient enough to wait for Tesla to drop and I started entering at $800 range. When Tesla fell to $680, I still leveraged up to sell 2 put option contract. I nearly got killed with too much debt. So this is one freaking painful lesson that taught me to never again let the greed mindset take control and make decisions. Every decision from now onwards must be made by clear trade plan, clear backup plans. If things feels wrong, I'm not going to do it. I throw out the greed mindset and started operating with my intuition. So to summarize all this, I just model after successful people, adapting to new changes, new worldview. I learned new skills like options to become even more profitable in the market. I learned about how to use debt effectively, take calculated risks, and use other people's money to make more money. From my mistakes, I learned that I should only listen and adapt my worldview to people who are more successful than me, and I threw the greed mindset out of the window. I hope that by sharing these 5 key points, you can take some time to think about what I've just said, and see if this will radically change your portfolio returns, or even your personal life in general. If you like what I've shared, do give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I'll see you next week.